From the polished marble halls of the Galactic Trade Assembly, the verdict echoed across every system in the Orion Reach: humanity was to be punished. Sanctions were the most elegant weapon the Assembly wielded, a civilized noose designed to squeeze any upstart civilization into submission. No ships in or out. No trade of exotic isotopes. No replenishment of advanced life support systems or nanofabricators. A slow, strangling blockade. Ambassador Krylos of the Myriad Confederacy had watched the final vote with an air of self-satisfaction. He had advocated this path, not immediate war, but economic suffocation. Humanity was stubborn, too independent, too unpredictable. They needed to be taught their place. As the vote tally locked into the record, the assembly chamber filled with nods and muted applause. The humans would protest, of course. They would bluster and plead. And eventually, they would yield. They always did. But across the gulf of space, in the orbital fortress designated Platform ZEUS, no one was panicking. Commodore Ethan Rourke stood in the command sphere, surrounded by panoramic tactical displays. Earth rotated peacefully beneath them, blue and white and unbowed. His officers moved with quiet discipline, monitoring the perimeter and cataloging the arrival of each blockade vessel. The Galactic Assembly's enforcement fleet was impressive, hundreds of frigates and resource haulers, accompanied by their heavy cruisers bristling with boarding pods and ion cannons. Every known access corridor into Sol was sealed. Rourke rested one hand on the polished railing. His fingers drummed lightly, more out of impatience than concern. "They think they can starve us into compliance," he murmured. His operations chief, Commander Ji-yoon Park, nodded. "Most of the assembly still believes we rely on their trade routes to maintain deep space operations." "They've never met ZEUS," Rourke said, a faint smile touching the corner of his mouth. ZEUS had begun as a classified project 2 decades earlier, a response to exactly this scenario. In the event of sanctions, humanity's answer would not be submission. It would be demonstration. The Assembly's flagship, the verdict of consensus, moved into high orbit above Earth, broadcasting a final declaration. By the will of the Galactic Trade Assembly, Earth's non-compliance has triggered total economic interdiction. Surrender your orbital assets and prepare for inspection. Failure to comply will result in escalation. Rourke raised an eyebrow. He toggled the comm channel to transmit. "This is Commodore Rourke, UNS Command. Your sanctions are acknowledged." A pause. The Assembly envoys expected pleas. They expected panic. Instead, Rourke's voice remained calm and almost amused. "And your presence," he continued evenly, "is tolerated. For now." Krylos himself leaned over the comm console aboard the verdict, his expression souring. "Tolerated? Commodore, you fail to grasp the gravity of your situation. Earth is alone. You will be rendered compliant by any means." Rourke studied the fleet icons crowding his displays. "You're right about one thing," he said. "Earth stands alone. But that's not quite the disadvantage you believe it is." He turned to Park. "Is the firing matrix ready?" "Final targeting checks complete," she replied crisply. Rourke rested his hand on the biometric scanner. "Then let's show them what we've been building while they were busy voting." On his command, Platform ZEUS revealed itself in full. Massive armored housings along the station's spine separated, exposing the accelerator coils hidden inside. Glowing capacitors the size of city blocks pulsed with stored energy. Hundreds of automated targeting arrays extended from recessed bays, locking onto the blockade vessels with cold precision. On every enemy bridge, proximity alarms shrieked in unison. Krylos watched in disbelief as the central weapon, Project ZEUS itself, came online, a singularity cannon capable of folding space between 2 points, projecting a micro-black hole across thousands of kilometers with pinpoint accuracy. "No," he whispered. That's forbidden technology." Rourke's voice cut through the chaos. "Your embargo is over." The singularity cannon emitted no visible beam, only a sudden, warping distortion that tore the verdict of consensus in half. For one instant, the flagship was there, and the next, its midsection imploded as artificial gravity collapsed into a singularity. A silent ripple spread through the blockade line as every ship's sensors registered the impossible. Before panic could become retreat, ZEUS fired again. And again. Each discharge erased another cruiser or transport from existence, cleanly and unceremoniously. Rourke spoke over the open channel, his tone steady. You wanted compliance. Instead, you've proven why Earth never signed the Assembly's weapons treaties. This platform exists because we knew someday you would forget your own history, and underestimate ours. Within 6 minutes, half the blockade was gone. The survivors scattered, vectoring for deep space. Some broadcast pleas for ceasefire. Others simply cut power to their drives and surrender. Platform ZEUS held position, unshaken. Rourke surveyed the sensor feed as the last enemy icons vanished beyond engagement range. His bridge officers exhaled as adrenaline ebbed. Begin retrieval of escape pods, he ordered. And send a message to the Assembly. Commander Park turned to him. What message? Rourke's eyes narrowed just slightly. Tell them humanity is open to negotiation, if they remember to bring respect next time. The transmission was short. Deliberate. And as the embers of the failed blockade drifted over Earth's atmosphere, every surviving crewman aboard the Assembly ships would carry a single truth home. Earth was never helpless. They had simply been waiting for the moment to remind the galaxy.